Seriously, stop. Right there. Put the pen down, close the Zillow tab, and do not sign a single contract to move to Cherokee Village until you watch this video. I know why you're here. I've seen the comments, you've seen the photos of the lakes, you've seen the incredible home prices, and you're thinking, Laura, this place looks like paradise. This is the retirement dream. And you know what? For a lot of people, it is. It's the best decision they ever made. But for the others, moving here without knowing the full reality, the good, the bad, the quiet, can turn into a major regret. You need to know what happens when the honeymoon phase wears off. You need to know what life looks like, actually, in 2026, not just what the brochure tells you. And taking off my realtor hat and putting on my honest neighbor hat, we are breaking down the brutal truth, 3 massive pros, 3 deal-breaking cons of living in Cherokee Village, Arkansas. I have a lot of viewers right now who are in what I call the research phase. Maybe you're sitting in Chicago or California or Florida and you're looking at your property tax bill thinking, there has to be a better way. You've heard whispers about the Ozarks, you heard about Cherokee Village. But for context, Cherokee Village isn't just a town. It was one of the first planned recreational communities in Arkansas. It covers about 15,000 acres in the Ozark foothills, and it was designed specifically for what many of you are looking for: relaxation, retirement. But a planned community doesn't mean a perfect community. Today we're going to alternate between giving you a pro and then hitting you with a con. We're going to do this 3 times, and so by the end of this video you will know with 100% certainty whether you should pack the moving truck or delete Cherokee Village from your list. Let's start with the biggest reason everyone lands on my channel. Pro number 1 is the elephant in the room. It's the cost of living, and I'm not just saying it's affordable. As of 2026, we are still seeing a cost of living that's roughly 14% below the national average. So real numbers, in many parts of the US, you might find a $150,000 home, but it might get you a parking spot or a fixer-upper. I've had other agents in other areas say that would just give you a shell of a home, nothing to actually live in. But $150,000 here is a reasonable budget. You still see nice homes selling for around that price. That's definitely livable and maybe even move-in ready depending on the size of the home and the location. I have clients who sell their homes on the coast and come here, buy a bigger house with a lake view, maybe lakefront, cash, maybe financing, and still have money left over to pad their retirement accounts. And it's not just the mortgage, it's the taxes too. Property taxes are incredibly low. For many of my clients, their annual tax bill here is less than their monthly tax bill back home. I know in Iowa, I was paying twice as much as I am here for half the size of the home. So think about what that does for your stress levels. When you aren't house poor, you sleep better, you travel more, you actually enjoy the retirement that you worked 40 years for. So if your main goal is stretching a fixed income or a pension as far as it can possibly go, Cherokee Village is arguably one of the best propositions in the United States. But you have to understand the trade-off for those low costs. That brings us to con number 1, the economic engine and the pace. So if you're not retired, if you don't bring a remote job with you, making a living here can be very difficult. This is not a hub for high-paying corporate jobs. The local economy is more service-based, like all the technicians, plumbing, electrical, heat and air, or healthcare-based. We are kind of in a little bit of an elderly population. 55 and over is a little bit higher than the younger. And so there's the ER, there's a couple of doctor choices, there's home health, there's nursing homes, so a lot of healthcare based. The school district is also another big employer. And then of course we have retail. You have to have grocery stores, shopping places, and things like that. And beyond the job market, there is the pace of life here. I hear this from big city movers all the time. They say they want peace and quiet. But after 3 months, some of them started climbing the walls here. Slow here means slow. Things operate on island time, but without the ocean. Contractors might take a little longer to get to you. That could mean days, not hours. There isn't a rush hour, but when I'm trying to walk across the highway to walk my dog, it does get a little bit busier around 8 o'clock, but I can still cross the highway if I wait a few minutes. So keep that in mind. There's not as much hustle and bustle. So if you're a type A personality who needs constant stimulation, high energy environments, and immediate gratification, Cherokee Village might feel like it's moving in slow motion. You really have to ask yourself, are you truly ready to downshift? Because we really don't have a fast lane here. Not for life, just for traffic. Now, if you are ready to downshift and you're ready to feel if that slow is good for you, let's talk about what you're downshifting into, because pro number 2 is the amenities. Remember, this was built as a resort destination. So when you live in Cherokee Village, you aren't just buying the home, you're buying the community. Because you have 7 lakes, for one thing. That's 7 lakes. 7 includes Lake Thunderbird and Lake Omaha. They're the 2 biggest lakes where you can ski and tube and speedboat and enjoy all the water stuff. But we also have 5 other smaller lakes. Those are the no-wake lakes, perfect for kayaking, paddle boarding, or just fishing in absolute silence. There's plenty of place to enjoy those. And we even have a beach on Lake Sequoia, Gitchigumi Beach, where there's a nice sandy place. We also have 2 18-hole golf courses. There's a swimming pool at the Omaha Center. Plus, at the Omaha Center, they have pickleball courts. They also have a gym, as well as there's other gyms in the area, and access to the South Fork River for trout fishing. It winds all the way through Cherokee Village. But the best part, it is accessible. You don't have to be a millionaire to live in this club and live this lifestyle. It's baked into the community. So you can wake up, grab your coffee, drive 5 minutes to the marina, spend 3 hours on a boat, then go play 9 holes and be home for lunch. Of course, now you do have to pay green fees. You do have to pay a boat registration for your boat. It's not like an all-inclusive resort, but it is discounted for property owners versus somebody outside the community, because they can still come in. You're just getting that discounted rate, and you have to be closer to all the amenities. So it's kind of like being on a permanent vacation. I want to hear from you. Which of these pros or cons matter most to you? Which of them would be a deal breaker? Tell me in the comments below. Did I forget something that made you love this area? Or leave it? Okay, we talked about the golf and the lakes. Now let's talk about the groceries and the shopping. Con number 2 is convenience and infrastructure. Cherokee Village is rural, not suburban, rural. There's no sugarcoating this. If you are used to having a Target, Whole Foods, or Starbucks 5 minutes from your driveway, you are going to be in for a culture shock. We have the basics nearby: grocery stores, hardware stores, pharmacies. You're not going to starve. But for major shopping, you're going to be looking at a decent drive. You're going to be Jonesboro, so over an hour away, or maybe even Memphis or Little Rock, which is a couple hours away. So that's going to be for specialty items or big stores that we don't have here, like maybe a Costco. But we have plenty of local stores that have lots of things that you won't find in those big box stores because they're custom. Like, for example, hardware stores. We have B&B Supply here. You can get lumber from that place, also, as well as all the other normal hardware stuff. We also have Johnson and Highland Supply, some more like plumbing stuff. There's also Sharp Office Supply, which is like for paper and office furniture and things like that. We have all kinds of retail stores. We do have a Tractor Supply for animal provided stuff. We also have Forschler's, which also has animal provided stuff. There's things like Tees to Please, where you can create your own t-shirts. We have 2 gyms in Highland. We also have Jade's, which is a high fashion store. And we have the Sweet Shop for getting your ice cream or your old time candy, like candy cigarettes and things like that. So just because we don't have the big box stores, there's still lots of shopping that you're not going to find anywhere else. Now let's swing back to the positive, and this one is intangible but huge. Pro number 3 is safety and community. In a world that feels increasingly chaotic, Cherokee Village feels like a sanctuary. The crime rates here are significantly lower than the national average. It is the kind of place where neighbors look out for neighbors because the demographic skews a little bit older. It does tend to be more quiet, respectful community, but it's not a ghost town either. There are clubs for everything from gardening to photography to what state you moved here from, but it's not rowdy. There is a sense of returning to a simpler time. You know the person at the post office, you wave to people as you drive by. If you break down on the side of the road, someone is going to stop and help you. And in fact, when we had a ice storm the last couple of weeks, that was kind of when people really shined because they got to go out and pull people out of the ditch. They really live for it. So you're very likely going to find someone that will help you here. So it kind of gives you a peace of mind. You can't put a price tag on that. It's a low stress environment, and for your health, that is pure gold. However, this quietness leads us directly to our final con. If you are single or if you love a vibrant social scene, listen closely. Con number 3 is the absolute lack of nightlife. Cherokee Village rolls up the sidewalks early, and probably there's nothing open on Sunday either. If your idea of a good time is trying a new fusion restaurant every Friday, going to wine bars, seeing live theater, you are going to be bored. We have some great local spots for a burger and a beer, and the Elks Club has some fun, like they have karaoke, sometimes they have band plays, but the variety is limited. The scene here is dinner at a friend's house, a bonfire by the lake, or church socials. I've seen people move here expecting a bustling resort town like Branson or Hot Springs. We are not that. We are a sleepy residential community. So if you need external entertainment to be happy, you will struggle here. You have to be comfortable making your own fun. So here is the verdict for 2026. If you want high-speed living, endless shopping options, and buzzing nightlife, Cherokee Village is not for you. Don't move here. You will feel isolated. But you're tired of the traffic, tired of the noise, and tired of working just to pay property taxes. If you want to retire in a place where you can actually afford to live like a king or a queen, surrounded by lakes and trees and good people, then this might just be the best kept secret in America. So if you're ready to see that move from far and away is not a problem, click this video where I help you figure out how to get here from out of state. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.